Hey everyone, thanks so much for coming back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about my experiences with Disney College Program. I have a little bit of congestion in my nose area, so if I sound a little bit nasally, that's why. I have small kids, so I feel like I get sick from them all the time. But Rachel is not in this video. I know, really sad. My next video with Rachel was supposed to be us reacting to the BuzzFeed Disney Princess, some controversial BuzzFeed trending video. And I just had a little bit of trouble trying to find a time to film with her. So that's why I'm doing this video instead. Rachel also worked weekends because she was full-time at the Disney Grand Floridian Spa while she was performing Snow White at Disney. So she doesn't really have a ton to say on Disney College Program. And I mean, I don't really know how much I have to say about Disney College Program either, but I'm still just going to talk about my experiences with people who were in Disney College Program. Whatever I can contribute to the conversation, I will contribute. Comment below if there's any specific questions about Disney College Program that you have that maybe I don't answer in this video. Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want more Disney related videos. Having worked in Disney Entertainment, if you have any questions in regards to those types of topics, also subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you want to see and I'll try to get a video up. A while back, I also filmed a video with someone who was in Disney College Program, and I will put a card for that up above somewhere in this video. Even though I was in college at the University of Central Florida, I was not a part of the Disney College Program. What I did was I was just enrolled with the University of Central Florida. I would go to class Monday through Thursday, and then I told Disney I was available on Fridays and Saturdays to work all day if needed. And that was my schedule. I had Sundays off to be with my family, to do any last minute homework before Monday. That was my life, day in and day out, for a long time. It was so funny because, you know, I lived in Orlando and, you know, I was just going to school and it was my life with these. There were people from all over the world, these Disney College Program people, international, from Mexico, from, you know, all those countries in Epcot that are, you know, the people are like legit from those countries. I feel like in 2004, reality TV was like going crazy. It was blowing up. And I just remember feeling like we needed a reality TV production thing going on in Disney Entertainment or just in Disney World in general, because I always felt like they were partying and living it up. They were also working crazy hours though. One of my first experiences working with Disney College Program was with an Aladdin during Christmas. We especially worked a ton of the Christmas parties together in Magic Kingdom. And I believe I've mentioned him before. He was from Boston and he was not allowed to say carpet. I guess casting had told him never to say the word carpet because of his accent. He would always say carpet. I'm riding my magic carpet, or however the people from Boston talk. So words with R, he was told to avoid using. That is so funny. He was one that was super popular with the ladies. He's the one who was also dating a Jasmine who was gorgeous. And she was also Disney College Program too. Like while that Aladdin and that Jasmine were in Magic Kingdom, they really lived life to the fullest. They were super passionate in their relationship. They were super passionate about their job. And then I remember when it was time for them to go back home to where they came from, they were so sad. It was so sad. There was just so many tears, and it was so sad leading up to them leaving because they knew that they were leaving behind a place that they had made so many memories that they were going to keep for a lifetime. You know, and at the same time, I knew that they had a world and a life and a family and a future waiting for them back home, because the reality was, were they going to be like that guy who was doing Aladdin? Was he going to be Aladdin for the rest of his life? No, I think he wanted more for his life. It's wonderful to do Aladdin. It's wonderful to have performed a character and say that you did that, and again, those memories. But at the same time, when you're tired of that and you want to make more money than just an hourly wage, and you want, you know, you have certain goals for yourself in your life, you put those away. And it was like when he left, it was like he was putting that away, that closing the lid to the box you know, and putting it on a shelf, those memories and that time in his life. And I remember the emotions. I'm kind of getting the feels now. And that girl, you know, I was closer, I spent more time with the Aladdin just because I had to work so much with him, versus the Jasmine. I don't even remember her name, but I would see her in passing a lot, especially because they were in a relationship. And I remember spending time with her, like when I was performing Pocahontas and she was Jasmine. I remember being on the rooftop on top of the Liberty Tree restaurant and watching the fireworks during Christmas. Oh my word, it was so gorgeous. Like, wonderful memories of watching fireworks from on top of those, you know, like we weren't on top of the Main Street buildings, but to be on a rooftop somewhere in Magic Kingdom and watching the fireworks from that angle versus being a guest on the ground. Your view is better up above. It just is, you know, so I'm really thankful to say that. I feel very strongly that if you are considering doing Disney College Program, that you really should. It's a great chance to say, I worked for Disney, and get it out of your system, earn college credit, have an experience of a lifetime, and then be able to go back to reality and just, you know, you have a feather in your cap kind of thing. Another strong memory I have with Disney College Program is when they went to Brigham Young University over in Utah, BYU, and they just they hit the jackpot. The girls at that school were, let's just say they had the princess look. All of a sudden one year we got this swarm of BYU girls, and they were all like pretty, and I don't know what it was about them. They had something about them that Disney was like, y'all are gonna be princesses. And it was so funny too, because a lot of them were married already at 20, 21 years old, and I was 21 and married, but like, I don't know, I was kind of like an exception. But it was just kind of funny that all of them were married, to the point where people thought that I was Mormon. And I was like, no, I'm just young and married. Like, I'm not actually Mormon. But I remember that. And I remember they had a strong work ethic, the girls from BYU. They took their job very seriously. Disney was a huge part of their culture growing up, as it is all over the United States, regardless of your background, or all over the world for that matter. But I especially remember an Ariel from BYU who I connected with a lot. I don't remember her name. It's terrible, I know. There were so many people though that it was hard to remember everybody's name. And one of the problems is that we would call each other by the character's name. Oh, Jeannie, you know, like if there was a Jeannie in the room, I called them Jeannie. I never actually took the time to get to know somebody's name unless I knew that I was going to be working with them on a consistent basis. And a lot of times, especially with fur characters, it was a different person every other week, every other day. So, you know, sometimes it could be a little tricky to form relationships with people. But there was this one Ariel from BYU in particular who, I don't know what it was, but she and I just loved each other immediately. And she was so sweet, she was so pretty, and she was married to a genie that I used to work with. He was my genie in Epcot so often. And I don't know if that might have connected us, and maybe it was because I was with her husband all the time. But he was awesome. He was a great genie. He was having the time of his life. And he was like, yeah, I'm married to Ariel. I'm the genie. It was just so funny. Those memories are the ones that I keep and that I cherish. And just, I don't know why, even just thinking of her and seeing her face, I don't even remember so much what she looked like outside of her wig, like when she was just her everyday self. I remember her red hair, her purple eyeshadow, or whatever color eyeshadow she had on. I just remember her eyes, those big blue eyes that she had stuck out to me. And I don't know, it was like being friends with Ariel, honestly. But the people who came from BYU, or the princesses that were from BYU, were very tame girls. I remember that. And you know, being married at 21, I think I was kind of a low-key, quiet, traditional type girl myself. So I got along really well with the BYU girls, I feel like. When I think of Disney College Program as well, I think of the international program that Disney offers to the college students. I worked in Norway with Rachel Henkel, who performed Snow White. We worked there so much, or at least I did work there a lot, especially because I was based at Epcot a lot. When I think of like college program, I think of them, which isn't really a fair comparison because I think they drink at a younger age than we do. I think you have to be 21 in the US to drink. Over there, I want to say it's 18 or something like that. But they were heavy drinkers, dare I say drunks. But no, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but they loved their alcohol. And they would throw huge parties at the end of the night, like when all of the Disney families or the guests had gone home. Then all of a sudden, people who were getting off work from the day who worked in Epcot, in Norway, would all start coming to eat at the restaurant. And I guess they would serve, I don't know, I don't think they paid for their food, or if they were just buying alcohol and drinking, enjoying the ambiance of the Norwegian pavilion and like having these crazy parties. And I remember I felt like we were princesses going around to entertain the Europeans, and I remember getting so many pictures with them. I think of wild parties at Disney. That's what I think of, in the Disney restaurant of Norway. That's what I think of. And I remember sometimes even like the guys from Italy would come over. I remember the princesses, we were all hanging out in the room, like taking pictures. Like we would treat, because they were paying customers, we would treat them like regular guests. And I remember the Italians getting down on their knees proposing marriage. And that is like, these are the highs of being a Disney princess. It's like, oh wow. But then you don't feel special, because then when I got back to the break room, the Cinderella was like, oh, the Italian guy proposed to me. I was like, hey, he was proposing to me. Like, I thought I was special. He was into you too. And then come to find, when all the princesses get back to the break room, the Italian guys had proposed to everybody. So you're not special anymore. They were just drunk and proposing to princesses. But it's a funny memory. It's fun to look back on. And then I also think about the people who just had a normal, not drinking, maybe they weren't into drinking or whatever, had normal work lives in Disney College Program. So I'm thinking of my neighbor who was from the Midwest, and she actually met her husband while working at Magic Kingdom. They were in similar apartments. Oh yeah, because everybody's like in the same apartment compound area. But yeah, so she and her husband met there. You know, people fall in love at Disney. I feel like a lot of these Disney College Program people, you know, they had romance on the brain, totally normal. But you know, otherwise they were there just for the experience. I have another neighbor who worked and did Disney College Program, ended up getting an internship afterwards in another place in Disney, used her degree towards that. I mean, and now she works there and she makes good money. So I feel like it's a great stepping stone, a great way to find out if Disney is the right company for you. Is this a company that you want to work with for the rest of your life? Yes or no? You don't know. I mean, it doesn't hurt to test the waters. I feel like Disney is really great about promoting from within, and you can really just keep climbing a ladder and getting to where you need to be. Obviously, education, you know, is important, and I feel like Disney wants to see people grow. So, you know, I was not in DCP myself. Comment below if you have anything to say about that. Did you feel like you learned whether or not that was a company that you would want to work with for life? Did you feel like it was just nice for a time? Comment below, let me know. I do remember that one of the Aladdins who was DCP also came back during Christmas and worked for a couple weeks over Christmas break because he missed it so much, and then went back. I also feel like Disney College Program people had it really tough as well, because I remember them working insane hours. I remember kind of thinking, wow, they're kind of like slave labor, like having those thoughts and feelings. I have no idea, honestly, because I wasn't College Program. I just remember they worked an awful lot, and they did a lot of the hard shifts that the full-timers and the part-timers didn't want to do. I feel like they kind of got the short end of the stick a lot of times, and I kind of felt like they were underappreciated a lot of times. Also, I feel like they kind of had it tough because they were away from their family, and I feel like sometimes they would get homesick, and I also felt like, man, they don't have a car, whereas I lived at home, I had my parents nearby, I was getting married, I had a car, and I felt like they didn't have like just the ability to come home and have a home-cooked meal from mom and dad. I feel like a lot of times they were just on their own, and so I feel like in a lot of ways. They had it pretty rough, but at the same time, in a lot of ways, they were free. They were on their own, and they were making memories and learning life skills and things that way. So all in all, I think it was a win-win situation for them. It was temporary, and I think they were always happy to go back home, but they also knew if they had grass is greener syndrome, then I kind of feel like they got to see just how green the grass was on the other side, or not green, depending on their situation. So I hope that this video was helpful. I've got to go pick up my daughter from school right now, but I thought I would try to film this really fast. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. Comment below, let me know what types of videos you want to see. Like this video if you liked it, share it, all that good stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. It really means the world to me. I have some of the best subscribers, and I'm so thankful for you guys. So have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.